Alicia. Happy birthday to Shimo, Jolly and Angela on the 13th. Giovante and Millie, May 14th and May 15th. Happy birthday, everybody. Okay, Jasmine, we have a big day this week coming up. Come on up, Jasmine. We have a big day this week, and Jasmine is going to fill us in.
Hello, everyone. I'll be fast. I know we have a lot to do today. Thursday, we are meeting here at the office at 8 o'clock in the morning. First Colony has so kindly offered, there they are, to do breakfast for us on Thursday morning. So be here at 8 a.m. And then we will present the check to Habitat for Humanity for the money that we've raised so far. We have a long ways to go, so if you guys can donate, please scan the barcode and donate today. And then lastly, we'll be breaking out into shifts to help at the restores in Orem and Spanish Fork, the Habitat for Humanity restores, and then work at a park in Orem that's for, it's a handicap accessible park that the daughter, Adelie, really likes to spend her time at. There's still about 60 spots left for volunteering that no one signed up for. So I'm going to pass around this clipboard. Please write your name in if you're able to help at one of those shifts. There's 9:30 to noon at the park. There's 9:30 to noon at the Orem and the Spanish Fork Restore. There's 11:30 to 2 at the Orem and Spanish Fork Restore. And then there's 1:30 to 4 o'clock at both of the restores. So if you can fill in one of those spots, that would be amazing. I will send this around, fill your name in, and then we'll see you Thursday morning. Does anybody have a question?
Sure.
Oh, and you can get a Red Day shirt for $5.
Woohoo!
It's at the front desk, and there's literally every single size, so go get one. What?
I looked through the whole box and none of them like that.
Oh, shoot, I'm sorry.
XL will work.
You gotta wear XL, like, and just show your
Look at
muscles.
that, yeah. It's medium.
Like Clay.
He did win that award one year for Christmas, this medium shirt size. But I said I wasn't gonna announce it, but Johnny made me, so you can blame him. Okay, thank you, Jasmine. If you, everybody needs to be there Thursday. So when this clipboard gets passed around, make sure you sign up for that. Jasmine goes into a ton of work for this, and we definitely need to support the KW Red Day. Oh, I gotta do this. Here we go. Thank you, Jasmine. Okay, Keller Splash, Susie and Sid, you guys want to raise your hand? Right here, our party animals, right here. Okay, June 7th and June 9th are our client appreciation events at Splash Summit. Don't forget. We've gotten a lot of emails, a lot of texts. You can contact me and we'll get you your wristbands. They'll be at the office in about a week at the front desk, okay? I'll send an email out. We have plenty of room, so make sure and email us and participate. These are our classes this week. Okay, you can read those yourself, but appraisals, Q&A. Actually, I can't read them from this angle, so. All right, classes next week. Am I going the right way?
Yes.
Okay, all right. We have Johnny Christensen that needs to come up and give a big announcement. Give it up for the one and only JC. Woo-hoo!
So nice. Hello, everybody. How's it going? Yes. This is a new microphone. I like it.
That's nice.
Who has been here at Keller Williams for less than 3 years? Raise your hand. Okay. Who's been here for 5 years or under? Raise your hand. Okay. 10 years. Who's been with Keller Williams for 10 years or less? Okay. Some are OGs. Who's been over 10 years with Keller Williams? Give a hand for our loyal OGs. So the short announcement, and then I'll back up a little bit, but we are expanding. We are growing our footprint. We are expanding. We're launching a couple branches with some partners across Utah County. My name is Johnny Christensen. I'm the operating partner for this franchise for KW Westfield. And a quick history lesson. So Keller Williams Westfield, this brokerage, we launched in 2007. So we've been in this county a little over 15 years. I joined 4 or 5 months after we launched. We actually launched in Highland. Does anybody remember we were in Highland? a couple of you. And then 2009, we actually built out some space and moved to 800 North and Orem. If you remember that old office space, and then almost about 5 years ago, we've been in this building almost 5 years, which is crazy. So I wanted to explain a little bit about why we're expanding and how that goes. You know, when I took the team leader job, Shelly's job over back end of 2010, I realized that we probably had one of the biggest Keller Williams franchise territories out there. How many people live in the county? 700, 800,000, something like that. Everybody's raising their hand. You guys are so good at participating. So when I took over KW Westfield back December 2010, we had about 65 agents, and I was a team leader for about 9.5 years. And we're sitting right now at 335 agents. So we've grown tremendously. But again, if you know how big the county is, we still have a lot of room to grow, which is exciting. And there's plenty of opportunity for us on sell side, on the brokerage ownership side, and profit share as well. So part of that over the last decade, we kind of battled a little bit back and forth on what the growth strategy and strategic options were for us. When you launch a market center, you think about this building, you think about the full service staff. It costs quite a bit of money to launch a market center. On average, it's about $1 million to $1.5 million to launch a Keller Williams franchise. We have about 900 of them around the country. We have 175,000 agents around the country right now. And being part of a brokerage management is kind of a whole nother business compared to selling real estate. And at the very beginning, you know, we actually thought that this county would have potentially 3 to 5 full-fledged market centers like we have here surrounded around the county. One of the challenges with that is you end up with a new team leader, a new MCA, a new broker. You know, you got to provide all the full services inside of those market centers. And there still is a lot of cooperation between different franchises, but it would also create a slight bit of separation. And so after we kind of passed that vision, we actually really enjoyed the vision of us kind of combining resources and going out and dominating as much as we can, all under one brand and one giant family. And before the last couple of years, there was only a handful of ways you could expand and grow territory. You know, even though Utah County, because I-15 is extremely convenient, there's been some brokerages, some teams, some high producing agents that have chose not to be here because of lack of geographical presence in South County, maybe out west or even North County. And we've been trying to solve for that. And previously, before the last couple of years, there was only a couple of ways to expand. Number one is go launch a full-fledged market center, which is a lot of money, a lot of work. Number two is we actually expand and just create a little branch. And then our staff is required to go back and forth and kind of service that. And before we built this building, we were actually a little fractionalized. We have a little office space in American Fork. Does anyone remember that? Brad and a bunch of other agents moved just down the road just because we needed some office space. And what we kind of found is, you know, we ended up kind of just splitting staff. Staff were having to kind of drive all over. And we were kind of really lacking some core leadership in those branches that were helping drive it. So Keller Williams created a new model a couple of years ago called the Indy model, which in my opinion is the best of both worlds. So we are expanding right now. We're announcing today 3 additional locations for our family here at KW Westfield. We have officially an Eagle Mountain location being driven by Courtney and Ben Nielsen. Stand up, please be recognized. They just rented a cool little suite, several thousand square feet out there in Eagle Mountain, just adjacent to the Ridleys. They're going to be dubbed KW Cedar Valley. So the way that works is it's actually an independent owned leadership kind of branch that cooperates and shares resources with KW Westfield. So again, we're all going to be under the same umbrella, the same leadership. Dean, thank you for servicing all those files coming your way. Nobly will be cutting all those checks. So and most of the fundamental value training calendar will still kind of feel like this is the clubhouse of that. But Ben and Courtney are stepping up to go out and attract a bunch of non-Keller Williams agents to their branch out there in Eagle Mountain. And then again, we had the dream team of high producing agents. We had Brad, we had Joel, we had Dan Kennedy, we had Peter Morkel, and we have Becca Summers that all created a partnership and their teams in cooperation. And they spent a bunch of money building 2 fancy buildings. As you can see, this is your Mapleton space, right? So they officially are under construction right now with a big office building in Mapleton and then another office building in Lehigh, right off Pioneer Crossing. So we are also launching 2 Indy branches with that partnership group that'll be will be dubbed KW Excellence. So we'll have 2 of those additional locations there. And part of the whole strategy again is we want to continue to just gain more market share by recruiting great agents that we want to work with, collaborate on the resources, but no doubt having some geographical presence in those communities is going to help us kind of expand our footprint. Okay. And we're super excited. We've still got a lot to go, a lot of systems and stuff like that. But as far as our agents, our current Keller Williams agents, for the most part, it's going to feel very fluid. So if you ever want to swing by, you can come out and use a conference room. We're going to be on a lot of the same systems. If there ever came a time that someone actually wanted to physically office out of one of those offices and rent an office like they do here, let us know. We can kind of work that out and communicate that. But as far as brokers, training calendars, compliance, all that sort of stuff is still going to be one shop. Okay. So congratulate to our other second partnership. That's how much money you're putting into those buildings, but thank you for the Keller Williams investment. And again, just even future pace, 3, 4, 5 years from now, most likely we're going to probably have a little geographical location in pretty much anywhere that could be convenient in this county. We really want to make sure that we are the dominant. We've been the #1 brokerage in the county for quite a while, but we want to widen that gap. And we want 1 out of every 2 signs in sellers' yards to be Keller Williams signs. We want, 1 out of 2 every great agent in the county. There's right now probably 2,500 agents in the county. Any of the good ones we want to bring here, right? All the bad ones can go to whatever, right? So I'll keep it short and sweet. We're super excited. And again, this is the first official public announcement. We've been working on this for 6, 8, 10 months. We're really excited about it, but we wanted you guys and gals to know before we start putting out some press releases. And we'll communicate very fully on how we're going to continue to grow in this. So cool. Fair enough. Do you have any questions or comments? Okay. All right. Back to Talina.
Okay, awesome. Marcus moment. Come on up, Mike. Woo, Mike. Yay.
Hey guys, I've got just a couple of calendar items that I wanted to run past you guys, as well as just a reminder of the fast track competition that we have in between the market centers right now going on. It'll go through the 15th of next month. So let's get those fast tracks in. It'll help us to earn a lunch for the market center, kind of like what we did last time. Today, we have got our mortgage update class, and I'm bringing in an appraiser into that class to help answer any questions. This is kind of a question and answer session that we get to have with that appraiser coming in. It starts at 12:30 if you want to stick around and be a part of that. And then next week on the 17th, we're going to have somebody come in to talk to us about credit and credit reports. It'll be awesome. Again, starting at 12:30 that day. So again, reminder about the fast track competition that we've got with those market centers. And then if you want to attend the classes, the flyers are around. Thank you.
You lost the lunch sponsor?
I am.
Woohoo! You guys, thank Mike for lunch. Okay, we are going to turn this time over to Clay to come on up. Not very often do we get to Clay up here. Woohoo! Clay Winder!
Well, we got jab balls. The shirts do still fit. Hi, Jason. You're good. Right. Hey, we've got a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, the Red Day in 2 days is always one of my favorite moments for the brokerage. Huge announcement with the expansion. And we're in a shifting market. A lot of you have probably felt we actually have inventory this week. We passed the 4,000 level, and there's like a little bit of whiplash. The market, I've been in real estate for 16 years, and we've had lots of little micro shifts. I've kind of gone through it all. I was born in the 2007 like peak, and then it crashed, right? So I've seen a lot of shifts. And there's one thing I've learned over the years, and that is that self-improvement and growth matters. Right. And so every time we go through these shifts, which I think we're in one right now, as we can feel with the inventory going up, we oftentimes will ask ourselves, hey, not only, how do I improve? How do I make myself better? How do I grow my business? A lot of us, I would say the majority of us, probably all of us, frankly, are in a growth phase right now in our business. With inventory going up, we'll have more clients to serve and more product to sell. But at the end of the day, our product is us. It's service. So recently I went through an experience where I wanted some outside consulting and I wanted to improve myself and improve my services. And we've got some great resources here at Keller Williams, but I came across an opportunity with my good friend, Scott Porter, who is a consultant and is truly a brand and marketing expert. And I'd like to introduce Scott right now as not just a brand and marketing consultant, but also a taco carnicer. I don't even know what to call you, but a diehard taco enthusiast. And so when I met Scott years ago, and what I knew at that time was there's this guy that has this quest to find the greatest taco on earth. And he was like genuinely traveling the world and had a blog and had followers and had people interacting with him. And he created this really random brand and experience around tacos. And so fast forward here a few years when I found out he has meshed his brand and marketing consulting with his enthusiasm and love for tacos. I thought, hang on, I need to experience this. So last month, I went through a training course with Scott where we actually went to Mexico City. And we experienced his quest for chasing tacos and also did some inner work where we talked about brand and experience, not just for our business, but for ourselves personally, as well as like a family brand. And I got so many cool ahas from it that when the opportunity came up where he said he'd be willing to come and talk to us as a group, I had to jump on it. Scott Porter has been, he's been consulting for several years. He has more degrees than I can even read on this thing. He's consulted big companies, little companies. Sufficient to say, we're grateful to have Scott here. Yes, those are little tacos on his shirt. So without further ado, Scott Porter.
Thanks so much, you guys. Happy Taco Tuesday. It's great. I'm so grateful to be here with you together. And I have something I want to show. Let me see if I can, let's see. Okay. Here we go. So Clay is not wrong. We were in Mexico City recently, and so we eat our way through the city. Who's on board? Wait, so I just need to know who's like taco crazy in here. Okay, we're speaking the same love language, right? Okay, so we're eating our way through the city, but we go with a very clear intentionality of understanding more about the power of human connection. How do we elevate our brand experience? All of us have experiences with, or all of us have some sort of stewardship over brands. You all are, most of you in this room, I guess, are agents and realtors, and you have a personal brand that's very strong. We all have family brands. We have our business brand that you're all a part of here at Keller Williams, which is really remarkable, by the way. Congratulations on Red Day and all of the involvement that you have in the community and what you do to make the world a better place. So that's so awesome. But all of those are brands. And I kind of embrace that broader definition of brand as Jeff Bezos, another bald guy, said that your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. So what are people saying about you when you're not in the room? What are they saying about your family? What are they saying about Keller Williams? And so that's what we tackle as we're like eating and stuffing our faces in Mexico City. We tackle that and we immerse ourselves in this really interesting environment that is this taco experience. And we see, and I always say one of the most unfortunate things about Mexico City are the physical limitations of your stomach, because you want to keep eating all the time. And so, and the food's so good. And so while we let our body do its thing, digest, we see the rest of the city. We go to the pyramids, we go to cathedrals, to like all the most amazing curated kind of interesting things. One of the things we did, and I know I'm letting the secret out because this will be the first group that it will ever be a secret for. They didn't know. Wait, any Nacho Libre fans in here? Okay, yeah, you can quote the whole movie. Yeah, okay, so we're best friends. we went to a lucha libre fight. You saw some of the masks up there when you were walking in. And then we told them, we're like, hey, we're gonna do an activity that afternoon. And so we did a behind the scenes tour of the stadium or of the arena where we do the lucha libre. And then we got in this room. We're like, okay, the guy told us that we have hired 3 professional luchadores to train us for 2 hours in the ring. And I will tell you, and so I'm gonna show you Clay coming down getting announced by the announcer. We gave him a luchador name, El Viento Furioso. Any Spanish speakers? What does that mean? Strong wind. Yeah, strong, furious wind, right? Okay, that's the name we gave him. Let's see if we can get this to play. Yeah, there you go. You just waiting for all his fans. And I will show you too. So this is Clay with our coach, Hechicero. Yeah, the spellbinder, I guess is how you translate that. So that's Clay with Hechicero. What I didn't have queued up for you is Clay was the first one. They teach us everything, right? Like how to jump off the cables and everything like that. Clay was the first one to raise his hand, and they taught us how to fall. And so he was like on top of someone, and you literally like fall back. It's like a trust fall, but there's no one to catch you except the ground. And so Clay landed from 4 feet and just like boom, and it just almost knocks the wind out of you, right? Oh man, so much fun. So you guys, one of the things that I love about the experience that we created in Mexico City is that we're trying to we see the value of getting out of our comfort zone, getting out of what we're used to kind of immerse ourselves in something different and see things with fresh eyes. And so that's what this is all about today. I like to call it tacos and transformation. You're probably like, what the heck is vitamin T? That is what vitamin T is, tacos and transformation. In Mexico City, well, in many parts of Mexico, they say if you're on a diet, they may joke and say, yeah, I'm on a vitamin T diet. Tacos, tostadas, tamales, tlacoyos, all the tea things. So this is, just a week ago, I was in Dubai. Anyone been to Dubai? Couple of you? Okay, you guys, real estate people, you have got to go to Dubai. Also, I mean, come with us to Mexico City too. But Dubai, like you talk about the fact that this did not exist 50 years ago, and now there's like 3 million people in this thriving city. One of the things that I talk about going with fresh eyes, I am obsessed with brand experience and the experience that all of us create with our businesses and our families and what we do. And to feel the energy in this city where literally you feel like anything is possible. This is the tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa. Everything is in Dubai. Tallest, fastest, largest, mostest. I mean, it's like seriously insane. The word impossible is a word used by some people who fear to dream big. One of the things I felt when I was there was this, like, I got to expand my dreams. I got to dream bigger. When they said, we don't, you want to add another 100 miles to your shoreline and because you only have such a small shoreline, no problem. We'll create a Palm Island and give ourselves another 100. I mean, you talk about real estate, brilliance, vision. 50 years ago, the people that created this were nomads. Literally nomads. And now they have built the most modern city in the world. It's insane. What it showed me, and yes, there were tacos there, I found them. They weren't that great, and very expensive, but the search goes on everywhere. Today, this is about you. So while I was there preparing for this, I've been thinking, and this morning I got up and I was thinking about you. I was thinking about what challenges do you face? What challenges do we all face as we're looking to constantly and continually improve and transform and make our business better, make ourselves better? I love your commitment to self-mastery over here. I love that it says, I love that you have two sides of that, the self-mastery and the mastery. Because all of this, and Clay touched on this too, that when we went to Mexico City, it was like, yeah, let's talk about our business, but our business is so intimately interconnected with ourselves too. And so it's also about us and the brand and the experience that we're creating as a human. So today, all this is about you. How do we continue to make an impact? And sometimes in this whole process, sometimes we have bad days, and sometimes we feel like we get stuck. And sometimes we're like trying to figure out solutions. We need new and fresh ideas. There's some interesting statistics, and you guys may feel this with your teams or maybe even with yourself, that our engagement is dramatically low. Employee engagement is low with companies that don't have a purpose. And recently, this is something else that was released mid-pandemic. Fascinating. Now think about this, because people are trusting you with probably one of the most important things they have, their homes, right? And so 70% of consumers lose trust forever if a brand, you, the realtor, or Keller Williams, puts profits over people. Think about that for a second. Almost 3/4 of people will lose trust forever if they feel like it's just about money and not about the human. I have a question for you. So they recently did some research. How many CEOs believe their organizations are creating a great, the plus CX, positive customer experience? So plus CX, positive customer experience. How many CEOs do you think they surveyed? All these CEOs, how many think they're just killing it with their customer experience? Who said that? Oh man, have you read the research? This guy saw my slides. It's the bald connection, man. It was the last club meeting we had, right? You're exactly right. 80% believe that they're creating a positive customer experience. How many of their customers agree?
25.
Okay, 25. 30, 40, 15. What did you say? Are you joking me? You read my Instagram. Here, listen. Do you want to take this mic? Okay, he did read, and he's exactly right. 8% of people agree. What does this tell you?
Think we're a lot better than we really are.
Right? Is this true? Yeah, we think we're doing really, really, really great job. But why is there such a huge gap between us thinking we're creating this awesome customer experience and our customers actually agreeing with us? What's missing? What do you guys think? Why is that happening? What could CEOs do more? Or yourself as a business leader? Survey the customer. Listen, right? Ken Garf style, right? What else? Yeah.
I wonder if a little bit of that has less to do with what we can, our own branding and us being able to reach out to our customers. Educating them on again, surveys great, all that, but I think also customers, sometimes we don't buy to have an experience, and so maybe there's that 8% because those are the ones who buy for experience. They're willing to give the feedback to surveys.
Yeah, for sure. Yes.
I don't think we communicate our vision.
Interesting.
You know, to them.
Can you guys hear that?
We have it in our minds, but we don't necessarily tell other people.
Right.
So they
We
don't-
think it's clear, right? It should be obvious why we're doing what we're doing. Absolutely. Sometimes they don't fully understand the same vision that we feel. We haven't done a good job of communicating. There's another hand back here. Yes. Oh my gosh, do you see her cool glasses? Talk about an experience. I think she just rips those apart. Okay, great. It's like Moses style. Okay. We don't listen. Yeah. And they don't, right?
Oh, okay, we tend not to listen to our
Right.
customers. We think we know it all, and so we're the experts here, so
Right.
we don't listen.
Right? 100%. Yes, please.
I think for me, I'm afraid to hear the answer. Like I'm so worried about like perfectionism and trying to be the very best that I'm almost afraid to hear what people say. Cause then I have to
Interesting.
actually like change. I don't know, be better, look in the mirror.
That's so great. Does anyone else feel that way? I think sometimes we all feel that way some days. I love the fact that you guys are constantly learning. And I love, what's this other thing I saw over here? Make being learning based the foundation of your action plan. That's so cool, right? Because if we have this mentality that we're learning, then it's maybe easier to avoid that tendency that you were just talking about, right? Of like, oh, I don't want to appear like I don't know, instead of, hey, look, I'm learning this too. We messed up. I will tell you, actually, so I also run a gourmet churro business. Hopefully you guys got the invite. We're having a big grand opening. You're welcome to come. And Dia de los Churros is what we're calling it, National Churro Day, coming up soon. Please join us. We had a hiccup with a big order for influencers for our Fiesta in a Box kit, which we're going to give away a couple of those. So you want to stick around to the very end. It's an at-home churro making kit, and we were sending these to influencers for Gab Wireless. You've heard of Gab? Driven on the freeway. Their billboards are all over. So we had a mess up. I called her. I said, I'm so sorry. This should not have happened. What can we do to fix it? So kind of trying to approach this like, we're learning. I'm so sorry. We messed up, falling on our sword. Have you guys ever had to do that? Right? I'm so sorry. How can we fix this? And I will say, so we fixed it. We sent them a refill pack and made it like, and she now, every time that I see her, she's so excited to see us. She's like our biggest advocate. We just got on a call with her. We're on speed dial, we're in communication. She's sending us ideas for other events and things. So to your point, I saw immediately what happens when we take that, when we're able to take a service recovery and be human with each other. Like, I don't know everything, and I make mistakes. And so if we can be more human with each other, then it was almost immediate. I saw this change in our relationship. And she realized, and she's like, yeah, it's cool. You did what you needed to do to fix it. And so I think I just love what you guys are saying. So the whole point of today is to really get clear. Let's get some more clarity. Let's see with new or fresh eyes, some things that we may or may not already know. So you guys familiar with IDEO? A really terrific, absolutely amazing company that deals with improving the actual customer experience, the physical customer experience. One of the things they said is the best ways to get inspired is to look outside of our context. So this is part of outside of your context. I'm obsessed with tacos. You may think, what in the world do tacos have to do with everything that we're talking about right now and being human and connection? I have, like Clay mentioned and that you said as well, I have a taco Instagram account called Search for the Perfect Taco. I sometimes wonder if there's a taco out there dreaming of me too. I want to tell you what this is all about. I've led taco tours to Mexico City. I lived in Mexico as like 3 years of my adult life. It has changed my life. My experience there with the people, with the culture, with the food, has taught me so much about how to be human. Let me tell you what this looks like. So this is one of my favorite taco trucks in East LA called El Pecas. Anyone been there? You've been to El Pecas? In East LA?
I've been to East LA.
Okay, great. Well, we made it out. Yes. East LA is amazing for tacos. This is right above where the 5 and the 10 and the 60 freeway, 5, 10, 60 freeways meet. El Pecas is there, one of my favorite places. This is in LA, like the second largest metropolitan city in the United States. I hadn't been there in 6 months. I walk up to this window right here and I say, and Ernesto greets me. He's like, Scott, how you been? Where have you been for the last 6 months? Would you like your tacos al pastor always the way you like them? Extra crispy with extra pineapple? And I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, of course. Yes. And I'm like looking around, am I being punked? Like, how in the world does Ernesto remember little old me out of the thousands and thousands of people he's seen in the last 6 months? Tell me about this experience. What stands out to you about this like micro interaction that I had with Ernesto that lasted about 30 seconds? What do you learn about this? Yes. Yeah, 2 things, right? He remembered me by my name and he personalized it to me. Let's talk about that for a second. Extra crispy meat, extra pineapple. What does that mean his team needs to do? You guys, what does that mean his team needs to do? Leaves a little bit of extra on there, on long. They got to get the extra pineapple out, go to all this extra effort. And he voluntarily offered this up, right? What else do you learn from this experience with Ernesto? Yes.
What he did wrong, why you had to come every single day.
Right. Yes. Yes. I love that. So he was in an attitude of learning, right? What the heck? You got to come back. We miss you. Yeah. Now, what if I told you that Ernesto's not the boss? What does that now tell you about El Pecas?
The team cares about you.
Whoa, that's amazing. Where is that voice coming from? Oh, thank you.
Sorry, I
I
heard
was
the
like, all of a
microphone.
sudden, I think, is that a voice in my head? Like, whoa.
This is your conscience. We have to stop it now.
Oh my gosh. You guys, everyone needs one of those in your life. Actually, we do. But okay, so go on.
That it's not just the manager who cares about you or the owner. It's everybody who cares about your order. They care about everybody's order. They know your name. They know everybody's name.
So what does it tell you about their hiring practice? So the owner was specifically looking, he wants people that think like that, right? That create that type of experience.
Like
Angie
said, they want everybody to come back every day for their tacos for their exact order.
Totally. How does that relate to you guys? Are there any parallels here? Wish you had a better memory. Okay. Yeah. Me too. I mean, I think we all think, we have some helps. So there's some tech tools to help us with that. How else does this relate to what you guys do on the daily?
I think there's a level of intention that you can put into your business, and it's the same. You see, there's real estate agents that run it just like, hey, I'm trying to get the profit from a transaction.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's people who truly care about the client, the experience they're delivering.
Yeah, amazing. and that truly care, and they can feel that, right? That genuine care. Someone else had a hand. Yes, please. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Clay Christensen talks about the job to be done. Have you read any of Clay's work? It's amazing. He talks about anyone as a customer. Think about you as a customer going anywhere where you do. You are going there because you have a job to be done. I went to FedEx this morning to get copies because my job to be done in that moment was to get copies. So I love what FedEx says. Do you know what they say now? By the way, I still call them Kinkos sometimes. You know that happened 17 years ago. That blew my mind. I found that out this morning. I was talking to the person. Like, oh yeah, it was a couple years ago. No, 17. They say, what brings you in today? That's what they say. That's how they greet you. Hi, how you doing? What brings you in today? I love that. And so they're like instantly wanting to find out what is the job that you need to have done, because I'm gonna help you with that. Awesome. Okay, I want to show you an experience that actually we're gonna skip this for a sec. So these are some of the companies that I've worked with. I want to tell you about my experience when I was a nursing home administrator. So I worked in the nursing home business, started an airline, served there, and now I run a churro business. So the first business that I ran in the nursing home industry was, anyone been to Pasadena area? Okay, so I lived there for a while, and we took over this nursing home. Our business model was to take over distressed properties and turn them around. And so one of the nursing home that we took over was Mission Care and Rehab. It was in bankruptcy, had 200 direct competitors within a 10-mile radius. We were half occupied, and it was my responsibility with my team to turn this around and make this profitable. So it seemed like a really daunting task. And during this time, I thought, gosh, just like you guys do, we had beautiful mission statements and values that we believed in. And we did exactly what you do here. We put them on the wall and we say that this is what we believe in. But what kept me up at night was that I'm like, oh gosh, like when I'm there, I'm like the guardian of that. And I'm trying to help make that happen on the daily with everyone that in our facility. But what happens when I go home? What happens at 2 a.m. when the janitor comes in to clean someone's room, or the nurse goes in to give an IV? Are they like, what? How do I know that they're bought in and they're also trying to live our mission and values regularly? And so I was like, gosh, I need to figure this out. How can I do this? So I studied what other companies had done, Trader Joe's, Chick-fil-A, In-N-Out, Ritz-Carlton, Disney, what they do to create these amazing experiences. And we started to do things differently. We started, like one of our values was to call people by name. It sounds silly, but it's a pet peeve of mine. In healthcare, they'll call people by a room number, right? Or a bed number. My dad was recently he lives in a nursing home now, but he was recently in the hospital, and I remember the insurance agent referred to my dad as a bed. And you can imagine that probably didn't sit super well with me. There's a human there. My dad is a human, and I love him. And so that like changing that mentality, calling people by name, smiling. When we wax the floors so you could like almost see your reflection in them. We offered water bottles to doctors every time they came in. We had their favorite chocolate bar there ready for them when they came in as well. We made it a goal that anytime anyone, that it was anyone's job to answer a call light. Call light's what they use to signal that you need help. And so if Elizabeth or I, the director of nursing, if we ever passed a call light without answering, we had to give someone $20 out of our pocket right there. So we held our own hands to the fire that we believed in the mission and values that we put on the wall. And so all of these things, little by little, we learned. We went to the Ritz-Carlton for a meal. And little by little, we went from bankruptcy to 4.5 million in revenue in 1 year. This didn't happen overnight, but it took a while for us to like get the right people on board. And then pretty soon we were like the employer of choice for all of those different positions that we were hiring for. Doctors were sending us their mother and father to live in our facility, which is the biggest honor. So this is when I was like, gosh, this is what we need to do. We need to completely help everyone know why we do what we do. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. That's what Simon Sinek said. It's probably one of the most famous TED Talks. I highly encourage that you watch it. So what is this all about? Over the years, this is what I've learned. And here's a fresh way to think about this for the last couple of minutes that we have. An elevated experience drives business results and impact. And this is the model that I use to think about if we want these types of results as business leaders, as heads of a family, as our own personal brand, this is what we need to do, is elevate our brand. Driving these business results through culture, brand experience, and human connection. So let me tell you exactly what this means. Right here. So first, I like to think of this as brand DNA. What is your mission and values? You guys already have this down. You know what your mission and values are. This is the heart and core of your brand. What is your culture? You have this. So now let's move, because once we have this down, just like we start with the heart, right? Our healthy body starts with the heart. Same thing with the business. We start with the heart and with the core here, and everything that we have, then how do we make sure that that ripples out and impacts every aspect of the business? Impacts our customer experience, impacts how we market, impacts our relationship with other vendors and clients. If we spend time, you guys already know this stuff right here, that's why I skipped this. You guys know this because you're living this. Companies with great culture outperform companies without great culture 4-to-1. They have 4 times more highly engaged employees, 33% higher revenue by creating a culture that attracts new talent. You have a whole bunch of people that are here new. They're attracted to Keller Williams because of the culture you've created. And you guys all believe this one down at the bottom. 94% of executives believe a distinct workplace is important to business success. So now that we know who we are, what do we do next? How do we create this amazing experience? Do you know that customers who have a better experience spend 140% more? Do you guys want your customers to spend 140% more? Put your numbers in there. Customer-centric companies were 60% more profitable. And again, here's our 80 and 80%. So the question that I have for you is your team, many of you are like on your own, but some of you have a team. Is your team empowered to bring your mission to life consistently? Have you intentionally designed an overarching experience that is human, that connects with your customers, where you're listening, like we've talked about, where they come to you with something that they need to be done, and you're helping them. Do you know that Chick-fil-A, they're anyone Chick-fil-A? What do they say? You say thank you, they say it's my pleasure, right? So they have the 1.4 million in sales annually per store revenue is more than these 3 combined. Why do you think that is? What's that? They do. They care. It's their pleasure to serve you.
This ice cream machine's always working.
Their ice cream machine works. It's a different experience than when you're at McDonald's, right? Than when you're at Jack in the Box or Del Taco. Different experience. We're going to hand out at the end, on your way out, Sayer and Wyatt are going to help hand these out. These are 3-minute, we have 3-minute brand experience assessment worksheets for you. This is something that you can use these are essential elements of what makes a brand experience so extraordinary. And some of the things we've already talked about. And these are things like, first of all, I'm just gonna go over these elements here. The first is the fundamentals. Your electric car has to work. Your tacos have to be good. If they're not, you're not going back. So fundamentally, whatever product or service you offer, you have to do it well. Fundamentally. Next thing, always different, positive, and special. I want to talk about this for a second. This is a sloth. I was in the jungles of Iquitos, in Peru. And has anyone been to like an artisan market in a developing country? Have you ever wondered, you're like, every single one of these booths is selling the exact same thing and for the exact same price. So I was in this market and wondering the same thing. I'm like, man, I always have these marketing and brand experience glasses on. I can't take them off. And so I'm like, no one's doing anything to stand out and be different. And also think about this for you, like there are thousands of realtors in this area. So there's like some immediate impact for like how you do things. I was thinking this and I'm walking down this aisle and just as I'm like thinking about this, like, oh my gosh, I want to help these people. How can they differentiate the experience that they're creating? Just as I'm thinking this, like way down at the end of the block, I see a huge group of people like pouring out of this one kiosk, this one booth. So I'm like, I go back down there, curious, like make my way through the people, just in enough time to see like someone is holding a real live sloth and everyone else is standing in line to take pictures with the real live sloth because who doesn't want a sloth selfie, right? And they really, has anyone held a sloth? They are like bony and wiry and bristly and they really do move slow. And I'm like, gosh, this guy gets it. He knows what to do that's different. And so do you think who did the most business there in that market that day? Sloth guy, right? Why? Why do you like innately just know that? It's different, but what happens because it's different? All those people are there. What happens when they're waiting in line?
More people gather to see what the commotion's about.
They're gathering to see what's going on. Where are you wanting to spend your money and why? Why do you spend it with him versus his neighbor?
Give me value with a selfie.
Yeah. And you may not always make that instant connection, but you're like, oh my gosh, this guy's so cool. You're like, all these thoughts are going through. This is awesome. I've never done this. I can't wait to post this on Instagram or whatever you're thinking. Your endorphins go up. Your value goes up. You're like, this guy cares. It's really awesome. And so I'm asking you, what is your sloth factor? What makes you different than every other realtor out there? Those of you that are starting these new independent spots, like this is an awesome opportunity. It's an awesome opportunity for any of us at any time to think through what are we doing to make ourselves different. Consistent commitment. I want to share with you one quick story. Trader Joe's. Love any Trader Joe's fans? Okay. How many grocery stores do you pass between your house and Trader Joe's? Count them. How many? 3? Someone was like 12 the other day. So I was at Trader Joe's in near Trolley Square. I was out like picking the banana chips. I love those, really delicious. was like looking at it, and I saw something different. It's like coconut crispy thing. I turned it over, I was looking at it. This guy stocking the shelves says to me, have you ever tried those? And I'm like, no. He's like, well, open them up and give them a try. Like, okay, don't mind if I do. And so I like open these up and I pop some in my mouth. They're delicious. I'm like, these would be great on my Greek yogurt every morning. Awesome. So I grab 2 of them. As I go to check out and purchase them, I see his manager passes me and I overhear the conversation. And he says, hey, Alec, one of our customers has a flat tire in the parking lot. Can you go help her change her tire? He's like, oh yeah, sure, absolutely. He like puts his stuff back on the shelf, like basically like skips out to the parking lot, right? Happy to help someone change their tire. And I'm like, oh my gosh, who is this guy? So then I'm that guy and I follow him out to the parking lot and I take this picture of Alec with this big old smile on his face. And I'm like, Alec, what is this all about? I'm like, the lady was like, what are you doing? I'm like, it's okay. This is my thing. And I'm like, Alec, what is this all about? And he says, oh, this is just what we do at Trader Joe's. This is just what we do. So I'm going to share with you another experience. I shared this experience. Someone comes up after a presentation and she says, you're never going to believe what happened to me at Trader Joe's. Like, okay, try me. And she says, well, so I was almost going to click the slide and ruin it all. She said, well, so we went to Trader Joe's. My husband and I had just bought a car that afternoon, and I just told you the punchline. And so she went to Trader Joe's, and they're at the cashier, and the cashier says, so how was your day? And she says, well, actually, my husband, what do we normally answer to that? Fine, good, yeah, whatever, right? She says, well, actually, my husband and I just bought a car. And the cashier turns around behind them, grabs a bouquet of flowers and says, congratulations. Hands them, and yeah, exactly. Hands them a bouquet of flowers. Why? So nice. Tell me about that experience. What happened? What is so special about these 2 experiences of Trader Joe's? Right? Yes, that's very interesting, right? They were empowered. So you learn about the culture of Trader Joe's, that they trained them to like, hey, you have to think about that. We all know about money and finances. Someone gave them the okay to every person at Trader Joe's, hey, that's money out the door. But what's more important than that money out the door? What did they just win? Customers for life is what you said, right? Yes, Julie.
It's the value, like the customer then felt value.
Totally. And they felt important. And it wasn't at all about Trader Joe's. It wasn't like, and with my experience with Alec, sure, if I open those crispy coconut things, I'm going to buy them and I like them, I'll buy them. But this was like, she was going, and someone else pointed out recently, they're like, wait a second. She just spent $35,000 on a car. And guess what? She posts on Instagram about her flowers. She had a pedicure that day, right? But she posts about her flowers that were free that she got at Trader Joe's. Not about the $35,000 car she just spent money on, because this experience made her feel special. How many followers does Emily have? 25,000 followers that she's telling about this experience at Trader Joe's. And what I love about this too, is that cashier at Trader Joe's didn't know that she's a micro influencer. They did it because they cared about the human and about Emily and her husband and celebrating them. So there's a lot to there. Oh, I gotta share this. So I thought, and you think about the consistency. Let me read. So I'm scrolling through my Facebook feed afterwards, after this experience. Heidi Height says this. I noticed this Trader Joe's sign in flowers. I'm like, wait, what's going on? Grateful for the kindness shown me by friends and family and strangers alike. Just went to Trader Joe's, and while checking out, the cashier asked if we had any plans this week. I said we are actually heading to my dad's funeral in a couple of days. As I walked out of the store, a Trader Joe's employee ran up to me and handed me a bouquet of flowers and said they were from the cashier who said I had some bad news recently. So nice, Jordan is loving the flowers. I have this with consistent commitment as for all of us as business leaders. If we have an opportunity to make this type of impact, every single interaction that we have, where we care, they recognize you're acknowledging the humanity in front of us. I love the word namaste, right? For any yogis out there, you say it at the beginning and end of your yoga practice. It means the divine in me recognizes the divine in you. We're honoring human to human this shared experience that we're having. And we all have a role in this, and we all can have this type of impact. And so as we, that's the whole point of this, is that we're looking to elevate our brands, to increase the level of human connection. The tools that you'll get on the way out, we have them here for you. Hopefully will be helpful. We also, this is the 3-minute brand assessment. We actually did one on Clay's, on your business when we were preparing to go to Mexico City. I have a podcast and video series called Taco Incidents. If you'd like to get some more inspiration by other business leaders, I have conversations with them over tacos about the type of experience they create. We are going again to Mexico City. All of you are invited. We're planning a female founders trip at some point. One of these experiences, and one of these has a 3-day Day of the Dead tack on experience there too. I want to share with you one last experience to finish up. So I was in Tijuana looking for tacos, and I went to, the huge, and I went to Taco Miendo, and I had a really great pastor. He made them exactly the way I liked them, and he's like, "Hey, you want some more?" And I said, "Yes, actually, I do. Can you make them exactly the way that you did before?" And he's like, "No." I'm like, "Okay." He said, "I'm going to make them even better." And so I leave you with that. All of us can do a little bit more to make something even better, just 1% better, just a little bit more human connection in everything that we do, and we will have a dramatic impact on others. We do have some giveaways. I'd love to connect with you guys. My business contact information is at your seats or your table as well. It's all here. If you have any questions, we're going to be around for a bit. We do have some giveaways. There are, we have a tortilla blanket giveaway. There should be several of you that have something under your seat. It's on the left-hand side. Oh, you got it right here. So we have a couple of prizes for you. You get to choose from. Okay, come on up here if you see. This is what you're looking for. This is what you're looking for on your seat. Okay, if you have these, come up here. One thing I want to share with you guys, we have a churro fiesta in a box. This is the ultimate at-home churro making kit, and we have these available. We actually do group orders too. So like a great housewarming gift for your clients. If you are interested, we have some sign-up pages that they're going to pass around, and we'll be here throughout to answer any of these questions, and you can check out these as well. So who had these? Come on up. You get to choose. We got the Forever Vitamin T t-shirt. We have a tortilla blanket, vitamin T hat, and the Churro Fiesta in a box kits. Come on up. Yay. Take it away. You want the Fiesta in a box? You got a shirt. This one is, or the hat or the tortilla blanket. Okay, it's right here. Yes.
Okay, all right.
Thank you. You guys, it's been my pleasure to be with you tonight or today. Please, Sarah and Wyatt and I will be sticking around. If you have any questions at all, I'd love to connect with you. And there is a sign-up sheet if you're interested in any group order information for the Churro Fiesta in a Box kits. And then, yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much.
Hey, huge thank you to Scott and Insolent for tacos. Enjoy your Taco Tuesday, guys, on the back.